All right. Good afternoon. This is Coach Big Pete of DeepDishFootball.com and the Wimmy Report. So, time for another conference preview for the 2018 IHSA football season. This is going to be the Metro Suburban Conference. Now, I was going to do two divisions, a favorite and a sleeper, but I decided not to do that. Just one favorite, one sleeper out of both of the divisions in the conference of the Metro Suburban for 2018. So, let's get started. Now, automatically, for the blue division, I have IC as the favorite in the whole conference. They're unbelievable. A great array of players is still returning. Hipskin, Ricky Miskovic, defensive tackle Johnson, Kobe Reed, Khalil and both the Saunders brothers are in there too. Quarterback Ryan, Johnson. They look great. Kennedy, their young stud running back who's going to be a sophomore. He's unbelievable. IC is filled to the brim with talent, and I think a huge test will be the second week will be Julia Catholic. That's going to be a great game. And they're also playing Eltoff Catholic too. Another great game. So I can't wait to see what IC does. I am praying to the football gods that in late October, November, we get a playoff matchup between, hopefully maybe in the state final, of Rochester versus IC. I think that's going to be a great game. But IC is my top dog. All right. Second, these are not in order, just in each of the divisions of the conference. Now, for another team for the blue, Wheaton Academy. I have Wheaton Academy as one of my sleeper teams. And this is the reason why. I think that they can go on a long run. I think they can do a lot of damage in the playoffs. Forson at quarterback, he's one of the best in the state of Illinois. Considered maybe in the top 5, top 3. I personally have him I have him personally. I'd say I have him as the second best quarterback. Just looking at it and his overall progressions, I think he's going to do wonders for Wheaton Academy this season. Ryan at wide receiver, Blackman, athlete, Noah Jones, another guy. They got another offensive lineman, Warowski. He's another good player. It's definitely going to be a great year for Wheaton Academy, and if they get rolling after 3 games, watch out. And I do believe that Wheaton Academy game versus IC is going to be another great game. Now, Bishop Mack is joining, so is St. Francis, if I'm not mistaken, from the Chicago Catholic League. For Bishop Mack, Tyshawn King, Hillary quarterback, Isaac Reuter, the junior offensive tackle, big boy, 6'6". He's going to look good for Bishop Mack. Bishop Mack's got a great offensive line coming back in. I think Bishop Mack can get to the playoffs this season. I think they're going to be able to get enough wins. I think it was a smart move for them to leave the Chicago Catholic League and come to the Metro Suburban League. But again, these are players you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Tyshawn King, Isaac Reuter, and Hillary quarterback. Next, St. Francis also is a move from Chicago Catholic League in there. This is their second year of the McMillan's coaching and head coach. He's doing a great job. First year is in the books. He is getting a large attraction of young players that are interested in the program. He's building up momentum in that program. Are they going to do something this season? They might, but I think they still got one more year left of rebuilding. Quarterback Rittenhouse, young guy to look out for, and scolded offensive lineman you definitely want to keep an eye out for. Riverside Brookfield. They have a lot of talented players that are back. Tight end Royer, Shelvin at quarterback, Chris Doherty, running back athlete. Three good players. They got a few more good players in Riverside Brookfield. Riverside Brookfield, I do believe, can get back into the playoffs. They look great for this upcoming season. Definitely want to keep an eye out for Riverside Brookfield. Aurora Catholic Central, I think it's going to be a tough season this season. But 2 players to look out for: Chrissy at defensive end and Padilla at DB and athlete. Last one, another sort of sleeper that I consider is Aurora Christian. They got a young quarterback, Hampton, to look out for. Could be one of the better quarterbacks in the state of Illinois. Angel James and BB at wide receiver, who's again one of the better wide receivers in the state of Illinois. Definitely Aurora Christian, you want to keep a close eye out for too. Aurora Christian, I'm sorry, Aurora Christian, Aurora Catholic. Like I said, it's going to be a tough year for them, but do not be surprised with that offense that they run. They could surprise some people. Now for the red, and this red's a tough one, and it's tough for many reasons. Why? Fenton, Damian King, wide receiver, athlete. St.Edward, Lucio Martin. I'm sorry, St.Edward, Wright, and Mohammed, both athletes for St.Edward. I think St.Edward. I don't have any favorite in this division. I was going to, but I just do not because it's just too tough to tell. Ridgewood, Elmwood Park, St. Edward, Chicago Christian. Those four teams have the players and the key players in situation to challenge in the red division. Elmwood Park, Lucio Martino, defensive end, fullback, Stransky at quarterback. Definitely want to keep out for an eye for those guys. Stransky could be one of the best quarterbacks in the state for next year. Ridgewood, Johnny Carmelo, wide receiver. Adam Tasca, another kid to keep an eye out for. Chicago Christian, Jonathan Griffin, wide receiver. He is unbelievable. One of the better athletes in the state of Illinois. You definitely want to keep an eye out for this kid, Jonathan Griffin. I say it again. Chicago Christian, again, Coach Cook. This is his one. This is going to be his fourth year, if I'm not mistaken. He's doing wonders with that program. He's building that program into something special. And Chicago Christian needs it, and he's doing a hell of a job. He has everything in line in Chicago to get Chicago Christian into a great season this season. And they're also a team that I also look at sort of a sleeper-like position. I had them last year. I think this year they're going to be able to take the next step. Last team, Gearin Prep, Gerald Crawford, and Cordell Boldy as another player. Look out for Gearin Prep. And again, I think Gearin Prep's going to have a tough season this season. But keep a close eye out for St. Edward, Elmwood Park, Ridgewood. Those are the three teams, and Chicago Christian. Those are I think this could be a four-head race into the red position. Metro Suburban Blue, I have as the top dog. Wheaton Academy, again, could do some damage. Bishop Max, St. Francis, the move from Chicago Catholic is going to help them. Riverside Brookfield looks good. Do not sleep on Aurora Christian. They look good. The Hampton quarterback, the young quarterback, you definitely want to keep an eye out for with BB and Angel James and Ridgewood. We're going back to the red, and I'm just talking about the red right now. If Ridgewood gets on fire, this is my whole thing. I'm going to say this right now. Ridgewood, Elmwood Park, St. Edward, and Chicago Christian. After the two games, I could probably give you a clear picture of who's going to be the front runner in that division. Because these are going to be based on momentum teams, and whoever's going to get those first two wins, look out for. And I really am impressed with Chicago Christian. I think Chicago Christian can do something. A lot of people sleeping on Chicago Christian, and St. Edward is another team that a lot of people aren't talking about, but people need to pay attention to. I think it was a smart move, and going back to the blue again. I like what Metro Suburban is doing. I like the two teams that they brought in. Hopefully they bring in some more teams. Three teams. They brought in Aurora Christian also. Sorry about that. I would also say that basically based on what the both divisions, I would love to see a couple more teams added into this conference. I think it's going to happen. Maybe Westmont, maybe Lisle, whatever happens. This is turning out to going to be a great conference, especially for smaller schools in the Chicagoland area that don't have the student population. This is a great conference in the Metro Suburban Conference, and we'll see what happens. Again, IC is my front dog, and I hope I get to see a Rochester versus IC in the playoffs. That'd be great. But Wheaton Academy, you definitely don't. Wheaton Academy could shock a lot of people. Aurora Christian could shock a lot of people. Down in the red, Elmwood Park, Ridgewood, St. Edward, Chicago Christian on my four. It's a 4-horse race in that whole thing. And definitely, like I said, IC in 4A is scary, and it's going to be very interesting as we get later into the season. But IC's biggest test will be week 2 against Juliet Catholic. So we'll see what happens then. But again, that's the Metro Suburban. Again, please follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. My email is coachbigpetefp@gmail.com. If you have any questions, if you like my work, if you like this video, be sure you smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you really like my thing, please feel free to leave a donation via PayPal. I got the link on the bottom. Leave a small little tip. This goes towards the progressions and the upkeep of Deep Dish Football. So feel free to leave a donation, and please help spread the word of Deep Dish Football. And remember, you get to vote for Deep Dish Football Game of the Week. Week 2, Saturday morning at 10 a.m. You get to nominate for Deep Dish Football Game of the Week, as always. So it should be a fun time. Good luck to all the players and coaches. Thanks again, and be sure you follow Coach Big Pete and Deep Dish Football on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram.